Welcome back to our Engagement Moon series where I take you through everything we crammed into our 7-day trip to Positano to get the best recommendations for your next visit. Today we have the whole day booked out to travel to Capri. Capri has been one of those bucket list places I wanted to visit for so long, so I am so excited. Then a lunch reservation and shopping, we're just gonna play it by ear, which now looking back on it, I don't recommend, and I'm gonna tell you why later. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. If you're planning on traveling to Positano, I highly recommend staying at least like 10-15 minutes outside of the city. 15-minute walk into the city every morning, and I just still can't get over these breathtaking views. We of course had to go to Kalina Bakery to grab a quick croissant and cappuccino before we boarded the ferry, which again, we didn't pre-book our ferry tickets, which wasn't a big deal because we were able to get on one pretty quickly once we got down to the port. But we didn't get on a ferry until probably 10 in the morning. We were moving pretty slow, and one thing I would have done differently was board the first ferry from Positano to Capri to totally just maximize the day. Had a little Aperol spritz on board, which I just thought was the cutest thing ever, and then we docked in Capri. Another thing I think you should know before visiting Capri is that we had to wait in a 20 to 30 minute line just to get a cab here. And our lunch reservation was at Il Riccio, which is about a 30-minute drive from the dock in Capri. I heard such amazing things about this restaurant, and they were having a Dior pop-up, which I really wanted to see, and it did not disappoint. The views were incredible, the service was incredible, the Temptation Room dessert bar was absolutely incredible as well. However, this was the most expensive meal that we had all trip. However, I would go back and do it all again. After lunch, we took another cab back into town to the shopping area. Don't remember what this street was called, but it has all the well-known designer stores. Once again, everywhere was very packed and busy, and the stores had very limited stock, unfortunately. By this time, it was late and we were tired, so we already had to head back to the ferry station to board a ferry to go back to Positano. Which is again why I would recommend getting there early and planning your trip ahead of time. We didn't realize the transportation situation would take so long. We got back to Positano. We of course had to go to Posides for dinner one last time, and it did not disappoint. This was by far the best food we had all trip. After dinner, we stopped off and got some gelato, enjoyed the view, then made it back to our Airbnb to get ready for our boat tour day tomorrow.